Anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome into DWR Randomizer. I am Archfield. And is with us on commentary, and we have a great race for you today in the Murder Bats group. This is artorious308 versus chromataclysm.
Yeah,
and
this is... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm going to let you do it, because I've got buttons now.
This group is definitely living up to its name of Murder Bats. Mikey Dies a Lot and Smashy have qualified as the 1 and 2. This race determines a lot of the 4 remaining racers that are in it. Edge has been eliminated, but EMP, Artorious, Sassage, and chromataclysm. Someday I will be good at saying that name. Chromataclysm. There we go. Are all technically in it. The loser of this race is eliminated, but even the winner still needs help. I could just say Chroma, and now that I've said the full name once, mostly correctly, I will probably stick with that.
That's probably a good plan. Chromataclysm, it's a good one. These both good racers, and they've got a magic key to start in the throne room, as well as some gold.
So definitely going to be having an easy start of just buying keys right here.
On top of that, our racers have also started with Radiant and Hurt More. Radiant spell is not particularly important in Permanent Torch, but we see some strenuous disagreement about this seed already in chat. I think disagreement, disappointment, probably a good word also. Dweem just emerged from, spoiler alert, a race that lasted longer than 2 hours. So he's particularly pleased to see this start. Strong objection from him in chat. We're going to see the treasury here to start things off. We've got another key, as though we needed it. We did not. A dragon scale. +2 defense. Stone's
Also,
Cave in the
have a basement check.
Basement, and that's an herb.
So not much useful, though. Again, like
not much useful. The interesting thing here is Artorious will have another chest he can potentially grind, and you saw Chroma go back into the throne room there to trigger the chest glitch. You get 3 extra chests from going back into the throne room after exiting for the first time. So you have 2 potentially grindable chests here, and he actually maybe lucked into this a little bit in the sense that the guard was walling him off from those 2 chests by the time he got there, so he was able to grab that chest first. And Artorious, on merits of having grabbed that Stone's Cave chest, will be able to get the gold too if he wants it.
This last chest here is, I think, new, and it's just the fairy water, so not really useful when you gotta hurt more. I'm curious how high the gold grind will go, as we see Chroma already in Silver Shield territory. Usually I don't like going that high in an opening gold grind, but when you've got hurt more, technically you've also got herbs in here. You could just reset your MP regularly after a hurt more cast and keep the gold infinitely, as long as you don't get back attacked by something.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting things that can happen with a start like this, where you do have a lot of gold available, because Hurt More does not necessarily lend itself extremely well to having a ton of defense early, because you can wall yourself out of, if you decide to repel, there is that fairy water there, and we saw Artorious grind it, you can end up ending up in a spot where there's, you're not getting many encounters, but I guess with Hurt More, it doesn't matter as much, but you do kind of miss some of those scaffold enemies that you might otherwise get if you do land some defense. But of course, at this point, that is all speculative, and I think we're mostly talking about it chiefly because what we're watching right now is 2 racers who are just obtaining gold on repeat in the treasury, so...
It's rough because it does, like you say, set the repel grind ability. Oh, Artorious leaving without saving, and there's a town right across the... Oh, no.
Well...
I think the gold grind is not going to pay off.
I'm speechless. How wonderful.
This is, I don't think grinding all that gold here was the wrong play, but it is hilarious that if either of the racer had taken a single step outside of Tanangel, they would have probably rethought that immediately. They do have the herb grind. Chroma will be able to grind full herbs. I don't know that Artorias could, so that could be a difference.
Yeah. Artorias went to the basement first, so did not have the herb grind available.
Yeah, there was one in the top, but I can't remember where it was. I think it was actually the first chest, so yeah, Artorias wouldn't have been able to grind that one.
Right. So now Artorias is locked to some grassland tiles. And Chroma effectively also locked, but I think... Oh, wow. And lands a crit on a Driki on 5 attack power and doesn't kill it. Deeply insulting. Now,
I think this entire seed is deeply insulting in so many hilarious ways.
I don't even know what to say. We're not even 5 minutes into this. Chroma has 1 fairy water. I believe Artorias has full fairy water, which at the time didn't seem like it was going to be a very big deal, but he is out of magic points. Would have to go back in to get those back for his Hurtmores. It's a lot of cycling. We do see level 2 here for Chroma, and that is a decent boost to the resources. Artorias on level 2 now as well. So...
Ooh, might lose the money
actually level 3.
a Mage Wyvern and doesn't want to Hurtmore. I think Chroma still has Hurtmore cast. I don't think I've seen it yet. It could be the start was so long that he's forgotten he had Hurtmore. And yeah, okay, there we go. He was there we go. Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to use it on a Mage Wyvern. Was hoping to get another. Was hoping to get a something like a Scorpion.
Okay, so the swamp is escapable with 1 herb.
But you're going to be at a bit low HP total, and it doesn't look like there's any salvation incoming. And there's more swamp, and an Axe Knight!
Immediate Axe Knight, Artorias does have a cast of Hurtmore, but it misses. Deeply disappointing for Artorias on that one. Had a chance. Now granted, it's not guaranteed to kill that Axe Knight in that situation, but the Hurtmore miss is... I think we've used the word insulting at several points already so far.
The other insulting thing right now is Artorias, like, if I'm him, I want to go just get that Axe Knight right immediately and just get it lucky and land it, because honestly it's going to be so much more value than anything here. But you have to walk through all that swamp and get herbs to do it. So
yeah, his only herb possibility is in the basement. He has to burn a key to do that, which means he probably also has to grab some gold.
No.
Heal and heal more on level 4, though. So I wonder now, yeah, Chroma's gonna kind of head around this coast and maybe stay a little closer to start.
And also is probably aiming to hope that town gets circled around back to. We also see a cave here. I imagine he'll probably ignore it, though, in favor of that town, which looks like this does cross. Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
It is accessible, so it does wrap around just a small lake there to the east of Tanagel. Have to go around. Now, is it going to pay off, is the question. And honestly,
it's always going to be Hawksness.
It's always going to be Hawksness, but you have Hurtmore and 2 casts right now, so I don't think that's also the worst town you could potentially see. I realize you spent time on the gold grind at the beginning of the seed, but it feels like time to move. We do have a silver shield here for Chroma. Look like some other intermediate gear as well. We've got, yeah, chainmail, copper sword. So no payoff in any other regard, but the silver is taken care of. Chroma now at 42 defense on level 4. With that chainmail as well as the copper sword. Most of that not especially consequential at the moment with Hurtmore. Still a lot of the seed to be played, but we will probably get a look at the back of Garanham here too.
Yeah, and if you're Chroma, that's the one item that you at least wanted to see. Obviously, getting full gold grind 8 minutes into a seed payoff is great.
And there's the sword.
You can pick up things like Erdrick's sword to completely invalidate the need for getting Flame Sword.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, the silver shield's the one thing that cannot be replaced just in the course of your normal seed completion. We do see Staff of Raincave here in the back of Garanham too, so Chroma has Erdrick's sword, silver shield, and Hurtmore on level 4. About 8.5 minutes into this one. Appears to have a leg up. Artorias might be deciding to... He's going to hang on to that gold for a little bit, but he does not have silver shield money.
Yeah. maybe it was just popping in here to check what zone it was in and get this level, because it was really close to it. Does get outside and return on that level.
It's an awkward spot because now you've got heal and heal more, and you don't actually have a whole lot more to grind for except for resources, and if the resources don't show up, it's gonna sting a little bit. Speaking of resources not showing up, Chroma with level 5, and that was actually Artorious also with level 5, only 2 apiece of both hit points and magic points.
Yeah, it's a really rough spot for Artorious right now because he doesn't. Oh, I was gonna say he doesn't have Silver Shield money anymore, but wants to keep the gold, but he will not. Does get run blocked. I think maybe failed to hurt more there.
Failed to hurt more on the Wraith Knight, which is slightly more likely than the hurt more against the Axe Knight that he missed earlier, but at the same time, you don't like to see it. Chroma picks up level 6 and finds Tablet Cave here to the northeast of Start. And as a sort of a club atmosphere in the dark dungeons for Chroma right now.
No, he's got a sword.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
Like this play here, just gonna wings out of that rather than, like obviously keeping the gold isn't that big, but, you know, you were going to use most of your herbs, which honestly at this MP total are still kind of valuable. You're gonna be using a lot of MP just to hurt more.
Yep.
So I like keeping those herbs right here and just resetting real quick.
Yeah, there's no need to do anything risky. I will say, Artorius' side, we have a blue dragon that has sleep. That's one of those enemies that you cannot easily hurt more, and of course our agility is still rather low here, especially for Artorius in level 5.
It does give the Silver Shield an outside shot of really paying off if the agility picks up huge late. Blues are technically repellable, but you need a lot going for you.
Yes, a lot of strange things would have to happen. It's been a while. I kind of miss that, honestly. Earlier versions of the randomizer, it was far more likely that you would end up repelling things like blue dragons. Doesn't really happen now, ever.
Yeah,
but Artorius is gonna pick up level 6 here.
Yeah, I think I've had one seed in the last year where I've repelled blue dragons, but always nice when it happens. Not much on level 6.
Not much on level 6. Back attack, hurt more from that Axe Knight. Chroma's gonna go after the blue, misses the first hurt more. Does have enough defense here to tank a hit, and it's a fortunate run there.
Is exploring, I believe, north of Tablet Cave and finding a whole bunch of bridges.
Yeah, interconnected area with some bridges here for Chroma. 47 defense for Chroma, so breaking all of your starter zone stuffs.
Artorius, meanwhile, looks like finally taking the southeast path, and if he makes it to Garenhay, I might be a little bit disappointed to see that Silver Shield.
Yeah, most of Artorius' gold is gone. I think he'll be able to pick up Chainmail here and a Copper Sword at maximum, but we'll get Erdrick's Sword in back.
I think maybe there was a large shield here too?
Oh, that's right. There is a large shield. So yeah, it has enough money for all of that. It is disappointing though. You see that. You realize it was there the whole time. We have level 7 incoming for Chroma on the strength of that Axe Knight kill. Four, 5, 3, 11. I'd like to see the MP continuing to increase in this particular situation.
Ooh. Tough
Armor
fight
Knight?
to take, but you've got to try.
Armor Knight, you gotta try it.
Hurt
it does
more.
have hurt more, and it lands for 33. The range on that's 30 to 45, so it needed to roll low on that one, and it does get the Armor Knight. That's gonna 2 fights and 2 levels for Chroma here, up to level 8 now.
Right now, the big difference in the seed isn't the Silver Shield or the sword. It's mostly just the hurt more luck.
Yeah, for real. Chroma has a lot of MP here. Or, pardon me, Chroma has a lot of experience here. on merits of what he's been able to do with his Hurt More spell so far, whereas Artorias missed out on the 130 from the Axe Knight, missed out on the 72 from the Wraith Knight, and just hasn't been able to get much traction so far, but will get his Erdrick Sword here in the back of Garen.
And then we'll have to wait while this NPC hogs the chest.
Yeah. That's the I Hate People NPC. And true to form, making a nuisance of themselves.
Hates people, loves chest.
There was, by the way, a level 8 stance. I didn't read those out, but there was another big MP bump, so actually 69 magic points for Chroma now, so that's a bunch of Hurt More casts, and enough healing MP to keep you afloat as you explore.
Yeah, the big limiting factors to exploring right now are the HP being only at 41, which means technically things like Armored Knights and Red Dragons and Golems can still give you the business. Never mind any, like, DL2 cast, or Hurt More cast.
Yeah, really any Hurt More cast even. Yeah, we've seen those Armored Knights have Hurt More, so on 41 hit points, they can still one-shot you with Hurt More. So even if you get first action and land your Hurt More, you might not survive anyway. Looks like Artorias with the sword is going to try to pick up a little bit of a scaffold grind here, try to get some more resources. But Chroma has continued southward from start. Hasn't really found much of anything yet.
Finds a blue. Meanwhile, Artorias finds level 7.
Yeah, this zone looks pretty good. Magiwyverns are always great for Hurt More.
Also nice because there's a town right there, which usually I don't mind that much, but not having to walk through all that swamp is just nice.
I think Chroma had not... I think he had not quite dead-ended that Explorer, so a little bit unfortunate there. He did find out about the Blue Dragon Sleep, and got sent back.
Yeah. He had dead-ended a small part of it because it was in a peninsula, but, like, there's a lot of ground to still explore in quite a few directions. Speaking of Artorias' grind, though, does get DL2 breathed by a Rogue Scorpion, so they are a bit spicy right now.
Very true, and the back attack potential is quite high with those. They have very high agility, the Rogue Scorpions, and that directly influences the back attack chances, so if they get the jump on you and breathe, then you can't survive that right now. That said, that grind, I don't know, that grind's probably still pretty good, and Artorias might just decide to soak that and go back.
Yeah, I think I probably would, especially knowing they're in the overworld, and knowing blues have sleep in the overworld. It's potentially very dangerous. That said, I don't think he's checked Tablet Cave yet.
No, I don't think so.
Probably end up doing that.
This Wraith Knight's going to put him 2 experience points shy of the level. So he'll check out Tablet. Meanwhile, I think Chroma headed back to he's directly north of Tablet Cave right now.
Yeah, this is that swamp bridge that he didn't take before.
Right. There's kind of splits off here. There's a couple of bridges that lead to the north from this location. Then there's this swamp peninsula that extends a little bit further east. Artorias grabs that herb out of Tablet.
Oh. Actually decided not to go down that path. Maybe looking to full clear the section that he didn't quite full clear earlier, or maybe was just wandering back into here to get the level, which includes sleep, which is potentially very useful right now at 41 agility if you run into a stone man.
Yeah, so Chroma picking up level 9 has found he was just a couple tiles away from seeing this earlier, but has found the top edge of the map, the north edge. Across this bridge. This might be the way forward to the west. We'll have to see here. Oh, and the Wraiths have... Oh, that's just weak breath, but... 2 weak breaths are... still lethal here. So,
yeah,
Artorias
trying to conserve MP, probably will not try that again. Especially since Wraiths are kind of dodgy, and even with a sword, the strength is so low, especially at level 7, but honestly even at level 9, that there's really no guarantee you kill it in even several swings.
Yeah, it's something with Sword right now. I think probably still on average over 3 swings to take out a Wraith. Right now, it kind of is an indicator of how low that strength is. But Chroma's continued to build this experience lead. Has 1,300 experience now, Artorious on 675, and Chroma's kind of perhaps dead-ended this exploration, or at minimum has decided not to go through the swamp yet because he's found what looks like a pretty good zone here. This is a Droll Magi Wolflord Axe Knight zone, which is really good, and I think Hurt More free on all of this stuff. We've seen some swings so far with the sword, but the strength has not been good. Let's see if that situation improves on level 10 for Chroma. 6, 3, 1, 10. Yeah, a little bit. 7. We're up into the 70s now. 75 attack power on level 10.
That said, definitely I feel like just a Hurt More area, especially with the Droll Magi having Hurt More themselves, could be a little bit dangerous if you don't get the kill on them. Meanwhile, Metal Slimes have DL2. Oh.
So another enemy wakes up with a breath attack in that same area where Artorious was grinding earlier. It's a little bit risky to be down there right now. But the zone has been getting progressively worse the longer he's been attempting to grind it.
And it's especially bad because I feel like of the enemies that can have DL2, Metal Slimes are one of my least favorite.
Yeah, Metal Slimes, again, this is talk about high agility enemies. It's a sky-high agility enemy.
There's really no running from it. It's basically just swing and hope that it either... Honestly, you're just hoping that it runs or that you crit. Like, even a swing landing isn't actually that good.
And Artorious, actually, I think, wisely here, is going to go to the Fairy Water, so that will get rid of that Metal Slime. He's not going to see it as he continues to grind this zone. And he only has 40 defense, so he's not getting rid of the Wraiths or anything else that might be here, too. I believe it's Magiwyvern Wraith Rogue Scorpion is what we've seen. I don't know what the 5th enemy is or if there is one, but...
I think there maybe was like a ghost or something small like that, although it could have been in a different zone. But yeah, it's definitely going to pay off that he didn't get the Silver Shield right now. Obviously, he could also go to the Axe Knight zone again, but it is still a bit rough at 41 HP.
I did see Chroma pick up a big chunk of experience up there by Charlock. And admittedly, I'm not sure about what the way forward is here. Chroma possibly peeked into that swamp that's there kind of south of where we saw Charlock.
Yeah, I think there's across this bridge right here, although Chroma maybe has already cleared it, but is not just going past it. And then I think there's south past where Artorious is.
Yeah, we saw where Chroma died to that blue dragon earlier. There were a couple of, I think there were potentially some west branches that direction. And that might actually be the only way forward right now, if Chroma's exploration is any indication based on what he's seen.
Going back to start, presumably out of MP, so couldn't cast Return, which is a bit unfortunate, so has to walk back, but... yeah, only 2. That said, at level 10 now, another big MP boost, getting to 84. The MP is technically in a range where it could be go if the other stats were much, much better. So that's pretty good in a Hurt More, Heal More seed.
Oh yeah, you love to see it. This is you're gonna have to spend a lot of healing resources. You've got a lot of swamp. You've got a lot of bad enemies. So having that MP is huge here. It means you can kind of be very liberal with the healing. You don't have to try to conserve those resources as much. But I think Artorious is putting a little bit of a dent into Chroma's XP lead with this zone that he's got right here.
Yeah, that and the fact that Chroma is, as chat noting, trying to conserve the gold means that he's going back to Tangential rather than taking easy deaths. Without armor, you can just walk into any of these swamps that are seemingly everywhere and get a quick death to reset, but trying to keep that gold, hoping maybe for magic armor upgrade. We have only seen one town, so he is potentially in play, but who knows if you'll be able to get to another town without being slapped by a blue dragon, deal 2 breath by one of any number of enemies.
Mm-hmm. That's it exactly. So I think, yeah, this peninsula is dead end. We do have equal levels for the first time since close to the beginning of the seed. Artorious has reached level 10, and as I said, is continuing to kind of put a dent in this XP lead right now. Just using Garanham as his refill point. Because he was able to stock those fairy waters at the beginning of the seed, using that to great advantage in this zone. And we'll see, Chroma's headed back to the north here. I'm interested in this bridge that leads to that swamp. I don't know if he's gone across that yet.
I think maybe he definitely has, because I haven't seen it, and I don't think there's anything else up here that he could explore, so either he's going right for it.
Yeah, so another...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's too much swamp.
Somebody put big swamp in my non-big swamp seed. 2 paths, and one requires going through a lot more swamp.
Alright, this werewolf here will be level 11 for Chroma, should he take it out, and he does.
Meanwhile, Artorious gets taken out instead by another DL2 Rogue Scorpion.
A 119, 2, and 0 on that level for Chroma. So all of a sudden, on level 11, the agility up into that orange range for what it's worth. 63 agility. Give you much better chances of getting first turn against stuff like Rogue Scorpions. Which is useful, because Artorious got back attacked by one of those rogues and sent back from his grind just a moment ago. Deal 2
A bit unfortunate. Nice for Chroma there. I think he managed to dead-end that whole swamp peninsula without actually going on it.
Yeah.
There maybe is something on the west side of it, but I think he maybe has seen it, that west side, from another vantage point, probably.
Yeah, I think from the bridges that lead toward Charlock, you could probably see the west edge of that, and so yeah, being able to cut out those steps by just looking, being heads up and looking across the water and kind of seeing what was on that peninsula, let him just continue. Every time one of our runners gets back attacked by a Rogue Scorpion, I flinch a little bit, but I'm not even 100% sure that Chroma knows about the DL2 on the Rogue Scorpions.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen it. Meanwhile, Artorious back into that Axe Knight zone that he found earlier on, and it does appear to be a different Axe Knight zone than the ones to the north. This one has Stonemen and Wraith Knights. He's just managing to sleep the Stonemen to get away.
Okay, I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I will say, on level 10, the nice thing is, out of one-shot hurt more range of those Axe Knights, which is very nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, honestly, you don't have a bit more HP. It's not great odds, but considering how close you are to home, you maybe would love to just be able to sleep and double hurt more cast these, but at this HP total, it's a bit rougher than it would be otherwise.
And I think the other stuff in the zone is probably good enough that you don't need to worry about extending too much. There is a lot of fightable stuff out there. It's just some bad abilities and perhaps some not great fortune for Artorious so far.
That said, I'm starting to wonder if this zone is maybe 2 Stonemen. He's encountered so many of them.
A lot of Stonemen.
I think right now he's encountering 3 Stonemen for any single other enemy. So he's just going to leave that zone and try to get some explore done.
Chroma has completely dead-ended this path, and there was nothing. He got to the east coast, got to the east edge of the map, didn't find anything over here. So there's a bunch of stuff out there somewhere. We just haven't really seen any of it yet. We've seen Charlotte Castle, which of course is inconsequential, and here's another back attack DL2 death to a Rogue Scorpion for Artorious. My goodness.
I think that's, at this point, 4 back attack DL2 breaths by Rogue Scorpions, and your opponent has not even seen the ability. That is getting insulting.
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. Chroma's, meanwhile, rapidly approaching level 12, which tells you how much better his combat has been going over the course of the last 5 minutes or so. Is out of MP right now, though. Decides to go ahead and try to swing at this DK, but the DK is having none of it, and the Blue Dragon also having none of it. Back attacks and sends him home.
Almost certainly still trying to conserve that gold, but I think losing it is going to be better in the long term for him, because now he can just stop worrying about it as much.
And for
I guess
what
it
it's
might
worth,
have also been going for the level.
Also, yeah, entirely possible going for the level 2, just trying to grab that before taking a death. And I will say, he does still have full plate money. more than full plate money right now, so that would be a nice consolation prize if you manage to track down a town, but we are approaching the half-hour mark of this one. We've seen one of those elusive towns so far. We have Artorious now, I think.
This
perhaps,
is south of
yeah.
Garenham.
Yeah, this is the direction that I think Chroma was probably headed when he took his death. We're going to get level 12 here. Chroma side. (7,317), huge hit point gain right there.
Yeah,
9 more
that
magic
hit
points.
point gain. Never mind the 7 strength gain is kind of nice. You can start taking out enemies that you technically wouldn't otherwise be able to. Is going to try this metal slime. Doesn't know it has DL2, and it doesn't know it has DL2 either. He might get the kill here. He's at 2 damage. He's at 3 straight
1, 2, 3.
swings landed.
So lands 3 straight swings, and just, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it is just sort of another example of the sort of RNG swings we've seen for both of our racers in this seed. Just kind of, it's a little bit glaring at this point. We've seen the Metal Slime take out Artorious with a DL2, and we saw 3 straight combat turns. Chroma takes that one out. And we have now a 2-level gap again.
And another Rogue Scorpion back attack that doesn't DL2. At this point, Artorious has probably taken like 7+ DL2 deaths. Chroma doesn't even know those 2 enemies have DL2. This is honestly just hilarious.
It's the difference between the deaths now too, honestly. I mean, we've seen the deaths to the Rogue Scorpion. Chroma has 3 deaths, Artorious has 9. That basically accounts for the entire gap in those numbers. It's just those back attack deaths that Artorious has taken that Chroma has not.
That said, the upside right now is that Artorious is in the only one to currently be exploring new ground, and he hasn't actually full cleared the area around Charlock, the area around all those bridges. If he can get away here, which he might not, because now he's been slept. Ow. But if he can get back down here before going up there, he could save a fair bit of time just on exploration RNG. But right now he kind of needs that because his luck otherwise has not been good.
One new interesting piece of information that we just found out on Chroma's side is that the Armored Knight has Hurt More, and it also has Stop Spell. So the Stop Spell can actually throw a little bit of a wrench in the works here. 83 attack power for Chroma, so if they land the Stop Spell after you land your initial Hurt More, you might see that, but you see the stats on screen right there. 50% Stop Spell, 75% Hurt More on those Armored Knights. That will be a little bit frustrating right now, perhaps, but of course later in the seed that actually probably overall significantly reduces their potential danger in Charlock, so that's actually a good ability set for them to have.
Yeah, right now it's really bad because if they do, like you say, get that Stop Spell off, there's basically no killing them. Even if you've already landed a Hurt More, you can't really do the damage you need to before it kills you. But once you get armor and that Stop Spell can no longer land, you're in really good shape.
Chroma's continuing to grind away here this zone that he found just outside of Charlock earlier in the seed. He's gone back to it, just trying to bolster himself for the overworld. And honestly, we see the 2 spells that are missing right now are Stop Spell and Repel, and those would both be great to have in the seed. The Stop Spell might potentially help you out against those blue dragons.
Or the Armored Knights if they're on a spike.
Yeah. 3, 3, 11, 13.
Either,
so the resources continue to climb, but we're sitting on 46 strength now on level 13, which is not great. And that... I can't...
How? I mean, the one good thing is Artorious was just about to cross that swamp bridge into the long nothingness of Swamp Peninsula Dead End. So if it convinces him to go back south, it's an advantage. But also, how is this happening?
It's really staggering at this point. I can't even really... Yeah, I don't even really have words for it.
Especially because the agility isn't bad anymore. It hasn't been bad for like 2 levels for Artorious, and yet still the back attacks continue until morale improves.
And that not only do you have to get back attack, but then the Rogue Scorpion at most has a 50% chance to use the DL2 breath attack. So that both of those things have to break the wrong way for you not to just kill it, because you have Hurtmore and it's guaranteed to die to a single Hurtmore. And we didn't see. Okay, now.
Oh, okay.
We've got one tally back in the column here because that's something we had not seen to this point, which is that the blue dragons do not just have sleep; they in fact have the full Wombo combo. That's 50%
Meanwhile,
sleep, 25% DL2.
Artorious discovering something new himself. Stonemen have hurt, which makes them technically killable, but it doesn't seem like it's maybe at a high enough percentage to make it valuable right now. But yeah, that blue dragon could be a spicy surprise for Artorious waiting in the wings. That said, only 25% to cast it, so it's not as bad as it could be.
Not as bad as it could be. Alright, so Chroma's now headed this direction. He's on the same route that he was on when he ran out of resources on his earlier explore. So this is basically the one chunk of map we have not seen on either side so far.
Yeah, Artorious did get a little bit further, maybe a screen further south before he died to the blue dragon, but this is, I think, got to be
this is new
territory here.
Yeah, this is new territory.
Does elect to take the western path rather than the eastern path, and by that virtue will maybe avoid blue dragons, although who knows.
Who knows? Zones are everywhere. That's how Dragon Warrior Randomizer works.
Breaking news. Enemies exist.
I don't know why I punched that one so hard. We have a
finding
town.
Our first other town.
Maybe.
I mean, if it's hot, since it's still a town.
It's statistically likely to be a town, and slightly less likely to be a wreckage. But in this case, it is the town of Cole.
Potentially very big. Gonna check the search spot before checking anything else, and finds armor. That is huge.
Massive find.
Technically already had the HP to be safe from DL2 at max HP, but with this much swamp, you probably weren't going to be, especially since you've only seen it on the blue dragon, but that probably inures Chroma from taking a bunch of back half deaths, like Artorious is taking them up the front.
Yeah, I mean, Chroma is sitting on 4 deaths right now, with armor, 106 magic points, 82 hit points. Entirely possible he doesn't really take a death unless it's intentional for the rest of the seed, and now we do have Grave on his side.
Could be a place you might take an intentional death. That said, he has nothing to take it for at this point, because he also has outside to go along with full gear. So, choice here to full dive it with only Erdrick's gear found so far. But I think it's probably a good bet unless you get like 2 trading items in the top floor here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting decision point. I mean, this is something that could matter later in the race. We don't have any other locations found, so we've still got all of Mountain Cave. I guess we have Stone's Cave checked off the list because that was in the basement of Tanagel. And we
also have Tablet.
We've got Tablet checked off, so the only single chest left is Mountain Cave. And then you've got the Overworld Coordinates and Hawksness.
And Rimmaldar, yes.
Yeah, and Rim for the single chest, yes. But I think this is probably a good spot to dive, especially if there's no quest item, as you said, here on the top. And we've got Torch, Herb, Cursed Belt.
So the Cursed Belt is information that we didn't have, but we've technically already found 1 trade-in spot and no Cursed Belt before now. So this is definitely a clear dive, and Chroma feels like that too. We'll be going deep.
Artorious doesn't know it, but he is hot on the trail of absolutely nothing, headed on this across this bridge through this swamp.
About the only chance Artorious has to make up ground doing this explore is hoping that maybe Chroma did miss something on the west side of that swamp there.
I think Chroma checked it on his way back out. I remember saying that, so he kind of peeked those tiles. It did not extend very far, but there's just a couple tiles worth of check there. Artorious is out of MP now as well, so he's not going to be able to pick up much experience on this explorer either, which does not work in his favor, as Chroma is continuing to compile here.
Yeah, really rough situation, and back attack might be a blessing if he dies, but he will manage to survive, sadly for him, and continue this explorer. One of those rare situations where you don't know it, but you really would just best to be benefited by taking a bad luck death.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
a lot of things have broken wrong for Artorious here. We did see chest 4 of Grave. That was, I think, gold?
Gold. It was gold. Yeah. Something inconsequential to the seed.
I saw it, and for what it's worth, I saw it, and then I immediately forgot what it was. So it tells me it probably wasn't super important.
Artorious gonna try to sleep kill a Magdwerven, but it wakes up immediately. We'll almost certainly kill it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind.
I don't really think you're to blame for that one, because that's just kind of how Artorius' seed has gone so far. I think that's kind of on brand.
I didn't jinx anything before now, so I am not accepting that blame. Meanwhile, Chroma halfway-ish to the final chest. Plenty of MP left outside. Worryingly, are metal slimes in here, so potentially can die in here if you get super unlucky.
That is Vanilla Harp.
So Deep Grave, indeed very important, in fact required. Hopefully Artorious, I mean, like, if you're Artorious, you almost certainly feel behind. You should not have taken nearly as many of these deaths as the game has decided to grant you. And in that case, you can sometimes decide to take a gamble to try to make up time if you feel behind. And if he does that with Deep Grave, he will be losing out instead of gaining.
Yeah. Chroma's got another cave on his screen. I will say, this is an interesting routing decision here, because you do know, I believe Staff of Rain Cave was behind Garenham, right? We know that Rainbow Drop Cave has to be out here in the wilds somewhere. So, not turning in the harp right away. I mean, it kind of depends.
Could rescue the princess here, which would be really big, potentially. Also, could just be, because you're still short 2 items. If one of those items is overworld coordinates, then even if you didn't rescue the princess, you'd need to return home anyway. I don't dislike it heavily, but I don't dislike or like it. Either way is what I should say, but it's an interesting dichotomy here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point I was making. I don't know that there's necessarily a right or wrong call on account of all the factors that you mentioned. But we've got a Stuff Spell Red Spike in Swamp Cave.
That was the gambit of emotions right there, and it's 2 Stop Spell casts already. This could be 75%, and if it is, oh my goodness.
Boy.
The AP is only 86, which usually precludes you from taking this sort of fight, but this may be the grind, and it's so weird to say in a seed where you have...
Oh, and Weak Breath behind it?
Oh my goodness.
Kidding me? Here's level 14.
Usually with 86 agility, I almost never want to take and hurt more and a bunch of MP, I would never want to take this grind, but this is...
It's
darn near free?
It's effectively free.
Like, it's basically potentially going to be as little as 3 MP for 350 experience. That is absurd value.
It's great value right here. This is the grind. As Brian is saying in chat, it's once you see this spike, you don't take any fights in the overworld the rest of the seed. You run from everything. You repel
unless it's a red dragon.
Chroma's got 80. Yeah, exactly. Chroma's got 85 defense, so he can repel everything up through wizards already.
Meanwhile, Artorious into Mountain. I don't think we've seen this, and it wasn't that far, honestly.
No, it wasn't. Interesting location on that. So I guess another outstanding thing here, I realize the experience gap is big right now. Chroma hasn't seen Mountain Cave yet, and he did kind of go this direction on his first trip this way, I thought, but we'll see. We'll see. There's still a lot of seed to be played here. I realize Chroma's in a commanding position right now, having found an Ultra Grind, and Artorious likely to pull... I don't know. We've got 2 search spots left.
Decent odds to pull a quest item. Because they can't be too much elsewhere. There's just here and Rimeldar and the Overworld and Toxins checks. But those could also be Flute and Death Necklace or not occupied, although that is another search spot confirmed.
Yeah, so at minimum there's something on Hawksness or Cantlin Overworld search spot at this point.
having this be empty is definitely not good for Artorias. He really needs there to be something here. If there is the potential that Chroma just doesn't check this direction for a little bit and puts himself behind the 8-ball there.
On the other hand, if there's nothing in chest 5 that is of consequence, then this is just turned out to be kind of a time sink.
Yeah, and his best hope then is that
it's the third cursed belt.
So he's got all the information. Well, I don't know that he's seen the first cursed belt, actually.
Yeah, he's not gotten to well, it was in...
I think maybe it was in Grave, Top Grave. Yeah, it was in Top Grave.
Yes, it was Top of Grave. Yes, that's right.
So he doesn't have that information yet. So it doesn't even actually help him that much. He just knows that one search spot is occupied.
Or 2, I guess. 2 cursed belts in Mountain Cave.
Or yeah, but I mean, he knows. Oh yeah, you're right. He hasn't been to Cole yet. Once he gets to Cole, he will know that one search spot is occupied.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a rough point now, especially because seeing those cursed belts might make you decide not to go Deep Grave if you're feeling again like you want to do a catch up. Speaking of making a decision, Chroma has, I think, very wisely decided to rescue the princess here ahead of time. That said, doesn't have the MP to outside and return.
Pretty sure has a pair of... He might have a pair of wings.
He's definitely not using them if he has them, which could be a little bit dangerous. The Red Dragon is free, but technically...
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't. So yeah, he has to do this, or he's just gonna decide to outside. This is a little bit dangerous.
A little bit dangerous. Does have armor. Is repelling the world right now.
True, that is the one upside. If he does run out of repel MP and fairy water, though, he could be in a bit dangerous. And right now he's actually not repelling, but now he will. Could be dangerous considering the 2-breath enemies we've seen. That said, we'll find a town here. Unless this is Hawksness, that basically clears him completely, and it is, in fact...
Yeah. Easiest wings access in the game.
A very expensive inn, but a welcome one.
Top off. And... there is a cave to the north here as well. Artorias finds Rainbow Drop Cave. So I guess that cave has to be...
Oh no, Artorias running first turn from the Red Dragon. That's actually super unfortunate here. He doesn't know it.
Well, it's a tougher fight for him without armor. That's the problem.
Oh, true, yeah, armor. And doesn't have stop spell, so yeah.
It does not have stop spell. So the Red Dragon is absolutely lethal if you don't have armor, and it is completely free if you do.
Would actually be good information to have right now if you could get one stop spell and then run, but not as bad as it could have been, yeah.
Here come coordinates. 44 south, 52 east.
That's
I have a feeling that's going to be pretty close to the coast.
That's not an impossible or honestly that hard of a count, but you've got the princess in hand. There's no reason not to just skip the time and uncertainty of doing it and just go with the princess. It's also unfortunate. The one thing Artorias has found in a little bit aside from Mountain Cave that was completely useless is a technically useless right now Jerk Cave.
Good to have the location, but this swamp exit, I think Chroma... Yeah, so that was actually Swamp Cave. I failed to realize that's where Chroma exited. He kind of took a winding route to get to where Caitlin ended up being, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to sit back down in this grind. He's here, and I don't think... This is a little bit out of the way, so if you get this taken mostly care of now, or even just kind of get to go, you're going to be repelling a lot of the map anyway.
And you can just outside and go immediately into Cantlin now, as long as you save the MP for the last little bit there.
Artorias
finding a new town.
Yeah, it's a new town. Rim, which could still be of value. Our runners have had keys since the start, of course, but there is one chest here. And we're not guaranteed to have important stuff on our search spots that we know about. That is, in fact, a quest item. Erdrick's token way over here on the west coast.
So that is potentially very big. Artorias really needed something like that. That means that one of the search spots will be Flute or Death Necklace, which don't appear to be useful right now, although obviously the AP isn't anywhere near go. So even though the HP isn't anywhere near Death Necklace range, it could be worth it. Oh, finding Hawksness over here, too.
Hawksness. So I think that's the last place of consequence on our checklist. It's possible we haven't seen Breckonair yet, but if we had, I wouldn't have remembered anyway. Mostly on purpose.
It is not of consequence.
No,
so,
I just put it right out of my mind.
Apparently near Swamp South. And it will have the stones, which means the overworld is useless, potentially. Which could be very big for Artorias. Oh, there's Breckonair. Bye, Breckonair.
Shame that. I apologize to everyone that we weren't able to censor Artorias' stream in time so that you could avoid seeing Breckonair, but it was a technical error on our part, and we'll make sure it won't happen again.
This is... I was going to say this is potentially big, but I think maybe Mountain Cave et al. Was in the direction of the coordinates. That said, Artorias finding Grave needs to deep dive it here that doesn't know it. This could be huge if he does.
Yeah, he
even worse if he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know that he has to, but he kind of has to. That's the third cursed belt, so...
Phew,
yeah,
was just using the torch there. I was
go.
really worried about the menu.
Yeah, Artorias, we saw him yeet both the torches he had in Mountain Cave, too, so... He's a known torch chucker. He's just gonna get rid of those things.
To fill out something in... oh, no, wait, that was Ziggy saying it. So yeah, Ziggy isn't looking for Mountain, Ziggy is looking for Rim. Mountain has nothing.
Chroma?
Chroma, yes. Blah. Ziggy isn't in the race.
People have names, and we say them sometimes, it's fine.
I don't. No, Mountain didn't have token, but Mountain was nearby Rimodar-ish. I don't know the exact positioning, but Artorias found Mountain, and then a bit after found Rimodar. So that path is what took him there. The path Chroma is on for these coordinates may also take him there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Chroma's going to go ahead and trade this harp. He is a scant few experience points away from level 15, just 4.
Armor was in coal, which is nearby here. So that is a place that Artorias will probably find if he can survive in here. There are the metal signs with DL2, the red dragons in here apparently. So if he manages the outside, he's great.
Yeah, Chroma made the approach to Grave from the east, I believe, which is where Cole was. And Artorias has made his way all the way to the west coast of the map where he found Rim and then made his way north. So he hasn't seen Cole yet, which is really important because there are red dragons in Grave, which I don't think we saw the first time around. But he has managed to escape both of the ones that he's encountered so far.
Yeah, right now, for once, his good luck is holding. Knock on wood. Commentator's Curse, etc., etc. Chroma starting out to explore, I think, he's not going towards the coordinates. So he's probably trying to find maybe Mountain Cave or go into Bison. Okay, no, he's finding this area, which that is actually to the north.
This is actually great for him because Rim's going to be on screen right about now.
Oh, no, to the south. Okay, so yeah, to the south. So yeah, that is unfortunate for Artorias.
So Chroma, if he once gets to skip coordinates and Mountain Cave altogether, he does not, I think, he has not yet seen Rainbow Drop Cave. Artorias has, but that's his last thing that he genuinely needs here, and then he has an extraordinarily free grind that he knows about. Artorias grabs Harp.
Yeah.
But
that is super unfortunate. Artorias makes the right decision to skip, not to skip Deep Grave, but any chance of a comeback is looking very bad right now, at least, by Chroma's decision to not go for the chords.
Yeah, it's looking a little grim. Chroma, of course, already has the GPS, so he can hunt down those coordinates if he wants to. It's going to be either Flute or Death Necklace. With this grind, though, with the grind that you know that you have in Swamp Cave, Death Necklace, I mean, are you going to spend more time hunting for what's 50-50 Flute, or are you just going to grind until you're go here?
I mean, it could be that finding Rainbow Drop takes him out in the direction that is, and if so, you pretty much might as well check it. But yeah, it's super unfortunate. Also unfortunate is Artorias going to check the Spike Tile Red Dragon, still hasn't found Cole.
Yeah, he has no way of knowing the armor's just sitting there. He has had, I will say this, he has had pretty good run shots against these monsters so far. And he's going to outside, and if he goes south, he'll see Cantlin immediately, but he's going to take the same route that Chroma did on his first trip out of Swamp Cave.
Okay, Chroma diving mountain, so we'll... Nope, never mind. Considers it and then leaves.
Oh, no,
Or
actually,
considers it again. A little bit of a time loss there for not making up the mine quickly, but definitely a lesser time loss than
For
it would have
just
been
deciding.
to dive it.
Yeah, not to do it at all.
Silly Dabbit noting in chat that he just wanted to give us more of the exciting rave cave. It's unfortunate the rave cave wasn't grave.
Well, yeah, the Rave Cave was Grave. Grave was the Rave Cave.
But not the last rave cave. The last rave cave wasn't grave.
That's right. Been a bit since we checked in on the stats. We see the strength is still awful. 52 on level 15, so we're not even breaking 100 attack power with Erdrick's sword. But the rest of it looks pretty good.
This is a rare situation. Like, it's not obviously nowhere near worth it to check, but it is a rare, hilarious situation where, honestly, if Red Dragon is the spike tile in Sharlock, it's the one situation where you'd actually be hoping for that to happen and just go into Sharlock and grind it, because it's basically going to be free and you've got loads of MP.
If you could.
Obviously, not a good gamble,
No,
but
terrible
a
play,
hilarious,
but it would be
hilarious
hilarious.
fact.
Yeah. And
Does
I
end
believe
up
that's
finding
Rainbow
Dirk here.
Drop. Yep. So as Chroma pinged the GPS a couple times, I think what Schmike is saying in chat is accurate. I think the coordinates are probably over by Cantlin.
Gonna try over in this direction, but yeah, it looks likely that... Oh, it could be over here, actually. No, I don't know that this goes east enough.
It might not go
This
east
doesn't go
far
east enough.
East. Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely is on Second Continent. Honestly, you probably just check that anyway because you're going to Swamp Cave.
Right, you're going
No
to
matter
Swamp
what.
for your, going to Swamp Cave for your grind, so... and Artorius finds out about the DL2 from the Blues and just barely survives.
I don't know if we'll be able to finish this Second Continent Explorer, which means he won't get to Cantlin. That said, it's not important that he gets to Cantlin, but it is important that he goes back through Swamp and finds coal. Oh, and another back attack and a sleep immediately. Aside from Red Dragon luck, this has just been awful.
Oh.
Chroma going for... Ooh. Death there for Artorius, but Chroma going for Sharlock?
He's in the neighborhood anyway.
I made the joke about it, but this would absolutely be the wrong play to hope Sharlock is free, or to even grind in Sharlock. I mean, Swamp Cave was a distance away, but it's still a free grind.
He's actually going to take the zone that he started with. Looks like.
That is, I think, 100% the wrong play, but obviously, you know, could feel rushed, could feel like the next level is so close with everything nearly being go that he's just hoping that it's really quick.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The calculus is very interesting here at minimum. If you get 2 more magic points, you're on 50 Neomors, right? So if you're kind of reverse engineering this and you're thinking, okay, I need Silver Shield, so maybe I get 18 swings. You're starting to look at it from the perspective of, well, maybe I'm go on 124. But even saying that, right now the strength is 52. So if you're thinking about this in terms of a forward position, this is probably going to be at least 2 levels. It's likely to be a lot of levels. Any level can have anything, of course. This could be a 30 strength level 16 and it's all moot, but we have no way of knowing until we get there.
Yeah, the other downside is we know at this point, and he knows at this point, that the overworld search spot is 50% Death Necklace, which I was joking about it earlier, but with the big HP increases since then, and strength just being dead on arrival for most of the seed in terms of growth, that actually looks like a very decent bet right now. So getting the Death Necklace or being in a position to get it, especially, like you don't even have to go over there and find that search spot right now. But if you're in Swamp Cave grinding, you can just hop over there and potentially get the Death Necklace 50-50 shot right after you get what may be the go level. So it's really doesn't feel like a good bet not to just go back to that spike tile.
Yeah, I'm on board with everything you just said. This is playing out in a very interesting way, and I think we've seen Chroma. There's something that's kind of at the back of my mind here, and it always is in a low strength seed, but Artorias having cleared essentially everything except for Coal and Hawksness at this point, and the overworld coordinates, but has cleared all the chests, which I guess is the pertinent to the point I'm about to make, which is Artorias has total assurance that the Fighter's Ring is in Charlock, which may not come into play because you've got Fairy Water potential, but it's something to think about as we kind of approach the hour mark of the seed, because there's no telling how long this grind could be. We could be here for a little bit because of where the strength is right now.
Also means if the Fairy Flute is on the overworld search spots, that he knows where the Death Necklace is too, again. So it's a rare situation. Like, it really wouldn't matter if Chroma was taking the Spike Tile grind. But now with Erdrick's armor being found by Artorias, this seed may not be quite so dead as it seemed. Really needs to find out about the Red Dragon fast, though.
Yeah, has he even seen the stop spell from the red yet?
He has not. I think he's managed to first turn and run every single time.
That said,
oh no, he has.
Oh, he has. Okay, Ziggy's saying he has. So now that he knows about that, and he's already seen the spike because he did that check. So and this is Oxness? Yeah, so this is going to be last quest item for Artorias. He already knows where Rainbow Drop Cave is. And I will say, Chroma's going to get this next level here on this Axe Knight. So let's find out what our stats are, and that will kind of give us an idea of the game state as we head into the end game here. 6 power.
6 power is a good increase, but not nearly good enough. And the HP total being still down.
But I will say also that's a +1 heal more, so that's helpful. But still sub 100 attack power on level 15 with sword. So
you could equip another sword on top of it, and you'd just barely be go. Is in a swamp cave, will almost certainly just be heading right for this red dragon since he knows about the stop spell, and that'll be a huge potential. I think Chroma is headed back toward it though. I think it was basically just hoping the next level would be go, and now that it isn't, is going back for the spike tile. So Artorias still behind, but is going to make up some ground here potentially. About a 3k difference.
Yeah, about 3,000 experience points. Well, it's closer to 4, but it'll be...
Yeah, by the time
Chroma gets to the spike. Yeah.
Probably be less than 3, even. So this is potentially going to work out really well for Artorias. We'll still need some luck. Wait, Chroma's in Grave.
I think
Swamp Cave should be nearby.
I think he just lost the beat on. Yeah, he walked and saw that cave and thought it was Swamp.
Oh yeah, they're both very similar in positioning, just on the west side of the river there. So we'll be basically exactly 3k-ish, not after with this Armor Knight, but very close to 3k by the time Chroma gets to the spike tile. So that's not good, but there is still the potential of the Wombo Blues in Charlock.
Very true. I will say Chroma also has a little bit of a Charlock leg up in that he was able to obtain that silver shield from his opening gold grind, whereas Artorias was not. So even barring the other Charlock considerations that we have for this one, he will be repelling all of that early stuff, everything through greens at minimum, and of course we still have so much strength to gain, who knows where the defense will be by the time we get into Charlock.
I only need 7 more points to break the blue dragons, right?
Well, the agility'd have to go a bit higher for that.
Well, I mean, 7 more defense points.
7 more defense points, yeah. So that's 14 agility where they are right now is a tough ask. It very rarely approaches 100. You could at least get the Axe Knights out of the way, and just any encounter that you repel in Charlock is always welcome, particularly because if the strength kind of gets fringy, then you might be looking at a thinner dive than you would be normally. But, I mean, 108 hit points now, even before we're go, and 120 magic points now, even before we're go. So,
the other thing to keep in mind that I'm suddenly remembering, Artorius does kind of like low AP levels. I don't know how Chroma feels about them, but Breckenary is pretty close by. You can technically go get some fairy water if you need to. Yeah. It could be a situation where if the is willing to do them. I'll put it that way. It could be a situation where if the AP is just barely fringe go with fairy water, Artorius maybe takes a dive and gains like a level on Chroma that way. Again, that's something that he kind of needs right now, is just a level like that being at level 17.
Yeah, and I will say, as far as fairy water strats at the end of the seed goes, without either the Death Necklace or the Fairy Flute, that means you're going to have the full 7 fairy water slots, which is a good bit of damage as a starting point. When you have this much MP, you can often make that up on the back end, especially if you're going to get more HP and perhaps get some doubles. So yeah, there's a strong potential here for a lower AP Dragon Lord attempt.
Someone in chat noting, Aaron T2 noting in chat that Artorius is about 8 or 10 red dragons behind, and Ziggy noting, so 9 deaths behind, that tracks.
Yeah, that's about the size of this one, I think. You're looking for the story of this seed now over an hour in. We're in our endgame grind, and that's basically what we're looking at. You see those death counters? Chroma was able to get to Garenham sooner. Whether or not that Silver Shield was meaningful, it's speculative at best, but we do know cold hard facts, which is that Artorius was getting bombed by some back attacks, some DL2 breaths that I don't know that Chroma even still knows about from different enemies.
Yeah, so, I still don't think Chroma definitely hasn't seen it from the Metal Slime. Maybe has seen it from the Rogue Scorpion, but I don't know for sure. I think, he did see the Rogue Scorpion eventually.
And then, of course, all risks being entirely too reductive. But we're going to see level 17 here for Chroma 52710.
Welcome gains, but still not anywhere near go.
115 HP with 92 defense. You like your doubles chances there, and it tacked on another heal more.
Like, everything aside from AP is super wonderful go.
Yeah.
Since we're just going to be on the spike tile for a bit, and since we really only need to see Chroma's levels, and he just got one, people are noting in chat about the situation. Do we want to, go into, what exactly happens depending on who wins, or want to save that for, later on or something?
Well, there's a lot of flowchart stuff that happens. I'm not sure that any of that merits discussion right now, but we may have mentioned it at the top or not. I was getting the restream stuff ready, so I kind of missed. But if you're just joining us, whoever loses this race is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. This will be Artorius' last race. He's sitting on 2 and 3 right now. Needs this win, and then will need some help in order to stay alive. Chroma, for all intents and purposes, still controls his own destiny, and that he can win his remaining 3 matches, including this one, and get to 4 wins and secure a playoff spot. But he cannot make it on 3 wins, so if he loses this one, he is out. So whoever loses this race cannot continue into the playoffs.
Basically, Chroma has to run the table, and I believe the only way Artorius makes it in is if he wins this one, his last race, and then Sausage beats Edge later tonight. If that happens, there will be a 3-way tiebreak between EMP, Artorius, and Sausage, I believe. Because they will all be at 3 wins and have tiebreakers over each other in a chain, so... And if neither of those things happen, EMP is just in... just by virtue of having 3 wins and nobody else having them.
Right. EMP's already banked his 3 wins and is in the book in this group. So he's just waiting for the outcome of this cluster of races at the end of the last week of the regular season. We do see, I think the experience gap might started to perhaps widen just slightly, if only because Chroma had picked up about 10 attack power through his levels on Artorious, so we were seeing some better damage output. But yeah, we're still sitting, it's about 3,000, depending on the refill cycle. The thing is, Artorious is, I think, sitting on, 2 heal mores left, so remains to be seen how long he'll be able to stay here. Of course, with this stop spell casts...
Has he seen Cantlin?
Artorious? I don't think he has, because...
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He went kind of north and east out of Swamp Cave, and Cantlin's, 1 or 2 tiles off-screen south from that swamp exit. But he doesn't know about that refill point, I don't think.
Has maybe cleared the rest of the map. If he does, he knows Cantlin has to be on second continent, so that might save him. But if he doesn't know about that and decides to take a death in here, that is super unfortunate, and he's going to continue this fight, so...
I think Cole is probably reasonably close on the other side, but Cantlin is for sure closer.
Never mind the fact that you can just outside to it, which is a huge time save, and there is still the potential to die in here. Unlikely, but,
I think there are Armor Knights in the zone, which they also have Stop Spell, if I'm recalling correctly, so they're not as dangerous as they might be, but they can still get to you with Hurt More melee attacks. Level 18 coming up right now for Chroma. So we'll check in on that thought in a moment, because I think I know what you're about to talk about here. 13 power.
Ooh. So
we're now on 116, but not in Death Necklace range.
Oh, yeah, so that's still not go. So yeah, Artorious just gonna fight this spike tile out and take a death and come back in. Doesn't know how close he is to healing, I think. Oh no, is gonna leave. Is he gonna leave? He's gonna leave by the upside. Maybe he saw Cantlin, or maybe he's just gonna gamble on it. But either way, this is gonna turn out really well for him if he just goes south. And he does indeed. Brief double take of, wait, what? Counter there.
Alright, so Chroma's going to be able to continue grinding here. 116 attack power.
The one downside to this is he now knows coordinates are here. If he checks them, it's not going to be good for him. And I think he's probably checking them by virtue of going into this key shop. If you're just going to be checking things in Charlock, you don't really need to fill up on keys again. Although I guess is rather low, so maybe he was going to do either way. But if he checks these coordinates and tries to think about them, then yeah, that's going to set him back. Obviously, it could be the Death Necklace, and that may be the only way to win, even at level 19. But he needs time saves, and this is not a time save either way.
Yeah, I was sitting here crunching some numbers because we have stratospheric magic points right now. That's 136 magic, so we're talking about 17 heal mores on 116. I'm not altogether convinced that this is not winnable on this level, especially with 93 defense. I think that's okay. I actually think I would probably go here.
True, yeah, 19? I wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah.
Because you don't, because it's 116, right? That's bonkers. But I think it's... With 7 fairy water, I think I actually really like this.
There's some
actually, you know what? Chroma,
I know.
Hang on. Chroma has GPS, though. I was thinking about Artorious earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about... Well, yeah, I'm not talking about...
That said... There is, I know, some contention. If you arrive with full resources, which given both Red Dragons and Armored Knights are nerfed pretty well, I know there's some contention, but using the EMP calc for the Dragon Lord does put you at high mid-90s. So
yeah, I understand not liking it. Don't get me wrong. You still have Slate Blue Dragons, that's 10 power right there. So now you're just okay, 126. And that was, I think, a bunch HP 2 now. So this is ultra mega free on 19. We've got 126 attack power. Don't need to worry about Death Necklace or anything else because you've got 140 magic points.
That said,
so,
Artorias is in a situation where if he just takes level 18, he maybe only needs a death from Chroma, maybe 2.
yeah.
There's a chance. It's not a good chance.
With the 4 run rule in effect, I think the odds of taking a Charlock death with these resources,
it would need really bad resources.
Staggering. So yeah, Chroma's ready to go here. And we'll see how this goes. I expect this will be the sort of fight where we're talking about how many heal mores do we think Chroma's going to have left over at the end of it, not whether or not it will be in doubt. But still plenty that we haven't seen. I don't believe, we haven't seen the golem in the seed.
Yeah, there's also a vague chance, I know some racers do this even when they don't need to, there's a vague chance he maybe considers going for Death Necklace, which is usable at this point completely, but would, I think, be an absolute mistake, especially with Wombo Blues.
I wouldn't expect that, and he's missing the Mountain Cave chest as well, so if he were gambling on Death Necklace and Treasury, it would actually be one of the rare occasions where he's actually got lesser odds since he hasn't seen the search spot yet.
Yeah.
With only 6 chests in Treasury.
Trying to think of any sort of scenario that helps Artorias here to make this race really close at the end, but it is definitely exceedingly rare that it will happen.
Yeah, so Chroma's going to repel here. He does have 93 defense, so that means he's repelling sort of that chunk of lesser Charlock foes, everything up through the Green Dragon. So the only things that he might see on this dive are Axe Knights, Stonemen, the 2 dragons, the Goldmen, and those blue dragons, which are the only potentially dangerous enemy that are actually in Charlock at this stage for Chroma on his resources.
Hoodie noting thinks Chroma would need to miss menu deep in the DL2 fight. Yeah, so it's basically just 1 exceedingly long dive or 2 long dives. It's the only chance Artorias has to make it in.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing to see will be if Artorias contemplates diving on 18, which, as we've pointed out, is doable. But
it's his only even remote shot. Even with silver, you're still pretty good, especially since you do have the extra fairy water slot. But yeah, it's going to be very, very tight. Even if Artorias does go on level 18, he needs a lot.
Artorias still hasn't traded for drop yet either, so he still has homework to do on top of that. So yeah, Chroma's in the driver's seat here for sure, and I think we're really just waiting to see this one play out at this stage. Perhaps slightly anticlimactic after having to wait till level 19, but I will say, just a signifier of how fast this seed, the sheer velocity of this seed.
Yeah.
And that we are at 116, Chroma's diving on 19, and got to...
Artorias looking at level 18.
He's taking a long look, too.
He has cleared mountains, so does know the Fighter's Ring is in Charlock, which actually I think makes this, I wasn't even considering that earlier, but makes it exceedingly better odds, but will not take it.
No.
That was his only real shot, but I think given Chroma has made it to the bottom floor and only used Repel as resources, I think that shot has pretty much dried up now as well.
Yeah. We do still have the spike tile to contend with, but here again, the only thing that we would really be concerned about might be a blue dragon. And it is not.
Like at this point, you could reasonably even hurt more and still just be
you could
absolutely free.
If you're feeling pressed for time, you could just totally hurt more here. Doesn't actually cost a heal more even.
We'll swing through it instead, and it really doesn't matter because it's mostly just casting. Stop spell does get a couple hurt mores in there. Then crits is the final swing. A crit
for dominance. And we'll head into the Dragonlord fight with effectively full resources and no need to herb in DL1 or really just do anything fancy. Just swing when you need to, swing when you've got HP, heal more when you don't. And this one will be in the books, and Chroma will still be alive in the tournament if he manages to take care of business here.
Gotta say, I do absolutely love the DL sprite for Chroma's fighter sprite. The red and black
yes.
goes hard.
It's a good palette. Opening 7 here into an 11. We'll only get 2 opening moves, but again, the math is mostly inconsequential at this point. Tracking for a double here, and we're actually guaranteed to get one. So after 4 swings, we're on 34.
Yeah, this won't be a exceedingly quick fight without fairy water, but it is basically guaranteed barring a miss menu. Meanwhile, Artorious very close to level 19. I believe this will do it.
Yes, this will be the one.
But at this point, it will just be a consolation prize of, well, you can finish the seed now that your opponent is finished. Have not been tracking the damage. I think Brian suggesting that they're not really good rolls right now.
The rolls have been kind of crummy, but we've seen an 11, we've seen a 12, everything else has been single digits.
I think I saw 13 for a moment there, so... Granted, the jail, as people noting, is a bit hard to parse sometimes.
Yes.
But you could honestly, I think you could honestly min-roll this fight coming in with the resources he had and still probably be fine.
Probably get pretty close, yeah, I think maybe. I'm keeping account, but I have no confidence in it whatsoever, so I'm not even going to bother saying it.
Artorious, meanwhile, now headed back to Drop Cave. We'll probably manage that just around the time Chroma GG's.
In all likelihood.
A 6 there, so the rolls certainly are making this a bit slower.
That's right, Dweeb. I'm just leaving it. It's just going to be a quantum count, and when it's over, somebody will say what the count was, and I'll say, yes, that's exactly what I had also. I think it should be done here within the next couple of swings, though. I think it's going to be done here within the next couple of swings or so. Yes, there we go.
Oh, there it is. A max HP DL2.
Yeah. Ish.
Get your GGs out in chat.
Had to cover the range in any event, and yes, get your GGs out in chat. Chroma will live to fight another day. Picks up his second win of the group now, sits at 2-2. And still has a lot of work to do, but his playoff hopes remain alive. Meanwhile, Artorious will be eliminated at 3-3 on that loss. Does not own the tiebreaker over EMP in his group. So this will be his last regular season match and his last match in the 2025 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament.
So for an update aside from that, I believe that means if Sausage wins his last race, he has the tiebreaker over EMP, but Chroma can just win out and take the third spot no matter what. So, in very good shape, and EMP now in very bad shape. That was actually, ironically, a situation where EMP almost wanted to be in a 3-way tiebreak, because his situation otherwise is actually kind of potentially rough. But this is, as I think you noted, I think that may have been before the race started, and as Brian Williams is noting in chat, this is an absurdly tough, deep group. I think it's one of the deeper groups out there.
Yeah, it's an incredibly tough group. I think Chroma was, a former semi-finalist in this tournament. Came in as an unseeded player. Just everybody else, Smashy, a really good Dragon Warrior Randomizer player, coming in as an unseeded player in this group. You have Edge and, just trying to think off the top of my head, so Artorious and EMP and Mikey, and so again, another former seeded player.
And Mikey,
is-
looking exceedingly strong, was a high seed last year, as I remember. Didn't make it to the bracket rounds, but this year has come out with a vengeance and absolutely torn through this group. Only one match left and currently undefeated, so this is a real tough group.
Incredibly tough group.
Absolutely no shame in not making out of this group.
Yeah.
Also, amusingly, as Aaron22 noting in chat, Chroma can actually only get second in this group. He cannot get third.
Yes, interestingly enough, because his route to the playoffs goes through the running the table, and getting to 4 wins in that fashion would mean he can only get second. Chroma put the Dragon Lord in jail, and that's the really important part here, because he can't get out to steal the Ball of Light ever again, or at least until the next race, which is probably in an hour or something.
Plus, with these stats, honestly, if I'm the Dragon Lord, I just try to run away, because there's literally no shot you're winning. So, the jail really helps keep him in check from that. He can't pull a Metal Slime.
GG Chroma. Well done on that. See you in chat there.
No, you're assumingly if you're in chat, you're not joining the booth, but since we don't have much to talk about until Artorius gets into this Dragon Lord 2 fight, I'm not sure, were you aware of Metal Slimes and or Rogue Scorpions having DL2? Because certainly you ran a very clean race. That definitely was a factor in this for Artorius' deaths.
Yes, I think it accounts for virtually, probably not all of the death gap that you see on screen, the 4 to 13, but it was a factor in the race, I think. But to echo Mad's point, yes, Chroma, you ran a pretty clean race. Your experience gathering was on point throughout. And then just, getting to armor when you did, fantastic, and you really just leveraged all of that, as well as the opening silver shield and everything else to have a pretty smooth run, I think.
Yeah, I think the armor was really a big key. Even if you had seen them, you were in a good situation to avoid them once you got to 50 or so HP. Artorius found Erdrick's armor as one of the last items he found, I believe.
I think maybe the last.
I think stones were last.
Oh, okay.
Because that was on the Hawks of Spike. But I think armor was probably second to last, and that really definitely made the deaths a lot more possible. Even if a lot of them were happening before that was even a possibility to get out there, it was still certainly a factor in a couple of them at least. Artorius now starting his own DL2 fight in very good situation. It's hard not to be with a stat set. You want to count this one too, Artshield?
Yeah, sure. Might get an opening triple here and does. So I can tell you with certitude that his count is 25. $34. This is really just a test for me at this point. 42. Shout out Brian and Zarnax. That's a 13, so it'll put us on 55. Strong double chance here, by which I mean guaranteed double. 6 into a 12 for 73. Schmeich pointing out now mathematically impossible for Artorius to win the fight unless he mismenus.
Lose the fight. Lose the fight.
Don't. I think maybe.
No, you said Artorius to win the fight.
Oh, for Artorius to lose. Yes, mathematically impossible for Artorius to lose the fight. Did I say win?
Yes.
It was the opposite of that. Why did I say that?
You're getting infected by my issue.
Oh,
so
I do hang out with you way too much. 111 is what I have. Another guaranteed double here. 13 into an 11 for 135. Artorius is tracking to have way more Healmores left than Chroma did at the end of his fight.
To be fair, I think Chroma's rolls were pretty bad, it felt like.
Chroma's rolls felt pretty bad, but it was still, mathematically cinched pretty early in the fight. But here comes the Hurtmore. Yeah, I kind of expected that, honestly. 147 is my count right now, so Artorius is doing the same. He knows he only needs a couple more swings to clear the range. So he's trying to close it out with
the memes. The memes.
Here it goes. No. Okay.
Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Got a double chance here. This Hurtmore will put him on 2 Healmores. So we'll see if he... Nope, he's still going. No, can't land it. So he's got one more Healmore left on 147.
So still pretty good odds to beat it.
Yeah.
But...
he's just going for the sleep. He didn't land that either.
Well, now I don't think he can win it.
Now he's going to the torch. That's a 9. Max torch roll. It's still winnable. And he gets him. 167. Okay. Everybody, please get your GGs out in chat for an entertaining close to the tournament for artorious308. Who has vanquished the Dragon Lord. Sadly, will not be continuing in the tournament for him. But put together a good Dragon Lord 2 fight for us there through the entire book. And then a couple other books at the Dragon Lord before taking him out.
The ancient Spartans believed in going out on your shield. Artorius believes in going out on Hurtmore casts and fairy torches in this case.
Torches.
And a sleep cast.
And a sleep cast. So there you have it, 160 hit points for Dragon Lord 2. I think Chroma's next to last swing was 159, so he just had to bump that over there at the end. We have seen those blue dragons throughout the seed, those Wombo Blues.
So yeah, it looks like 1 death to the Metal Slime. The other one would be the Rogue Scorpion, which should be on the next slide, I believe. Yeah, 4 deaths to the Rogue Scorpion. Less than I thought, but...
Yeah. Still, that's, I think, about where I had it. Saw the Wraith Knight, the Werewolf death. 3 Blue Dragon deaths. The initial Axe Knight death when he missed the Hurtmore. So yeah, on the balance, a lot of rolls against Artorius today. Still ran a pretty clean race, but just kind of got messed around by the map and virtually everything else. And he's here with us in the booth right now. GG, Art.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
I will admit, you did not come in on a glowing assessment of the way your race went, but I think I'm not telling you anything you didn't already know in terms of what you encountered and with getting DL2'd and everything else.
Yeah, I argue with that DL2% on that Rogue Scorpion because I never saw a non-DL2 attack from it. So I think it had 100% this seat. So yeah. Plus, I'm pretty certain I found Cole way later than Chroma as well.
Yeah, that's also accurate. Kind of nearly last locationing armor certainly stings a bit. Clearing out what turned out to be a mountain cave that only had a couple of belts in it. Chroma didn't have to go there. And come across everything else before then. So yeah, just kind of a lot of those sorts of arbitrary things working against you in this one. Otherwise, I mean, it isn't as though I could look at anything and say that wasn't clean, but certainly just kind of a lot working against you. That's when it was an uphill climb most of the way. From honestly the first Axe Knight that you saw when you missed the Hurtmore, it just kind of felt like, oh boy, is it going to be that kind of seed? And it just kind of kept going then.
Yeah, as soon as I missed, I was like, I would have rather hit it and then died because I couldn't do any damage to it. That would have felt less worse, I think. And then I immediately after that found the Wraith Knight and missed the Hurtmore too. So yeah, my hero needs to go to magic school. So
up that accuracy percentage a little bit. That was. It felt bad at the time, and as the seed wore on, as you said, just if the rogue scorpions don't back attack you, they literally cannot survive as long as you have MP. But they would back attack and then they deal 2, back attacked and deal 2, and it's kind of kept going like that. Sort of got you stuck in the mud for most of the first portion of the seed.
It actually felt like your zone. I don't think Chroma really sat in that zone at all. Was mostly going after the Armored Knights and the Axe Knights, but it felt like your zone should have been going into it the best zone in terms of like floor, not dying and definitely getting experience. But then just those 2 enemies being in that zone with DL2 and the miss on the Wraith Knight really turned the early grind around in favor of Chroma.
Yeah, and I also am very upset at those stone men. I see all 5 enemies in the zone, but yet stone men still show up about 60% of the time as well.
Oh, we were wondering if that was a double stone man zone. That wasn't a double stone man zone?
I saw Axe Knight, Magic Drakey, Magician. Oh, it could have been. No, I saw Wraith Knight up there as well. Stone Man and Wraith Knight, so... Yeah, when I saw the Magician, I was like, that's the 5th enemy here, so this stupid Stone Man should not be showing up, but yet it did.
For another question, obviously, I don't think it would have actually helped you in this case because the dive was basically free. But how, as a regular purveyor of low AP seeds, how tempting was level 18?
Actually, when I saw Chroma win, I was 100% certain that he would have gone on 18. If not for the Red Dragon being so free, I would have gone on it. I figured 19 would have been quicker than, selling my cursed belts and buying fairy waters. 18 was clear winnable, even with guessing like 2 or 3 heal mores lost in the dive. But again, just having to do the shopping trip, I figured would be a little bit slower than just fighting away and getting the next level and then going no matter what 19 was.
Yeah, those Red Dragon levels go by so fast. You have to think of that's, I think, the calculus. You've articulated it quite well. It's just, is it going to take longer for me to shop, or can I just get this next level on it? Those are the things you have to think about in those situations. There was at the sort of in the middle of this seed, when you got to Rim and then Breckenary, if you, not having seen Hawksness yet and not having seen Cantlin yet, what was kind of going through your mind while you were trying to finish up your exploration there?
Just really wondering where everything was, because I went in all the wrong directions, it felt, and even coming out of Swamp and going north first, and not seeing Cantlin right there, felt really bad when I left to try to find Sharlock that one time with no MP left. But yeah, it was just, where could everything be? And, I had 4 areas unmapped. The one where Cole was, the one where Sharlock was, and then north of Swamp and down that long path south and east. So it was just, where the heck can everything be? Like when I saw Rim, I'm like, wow, towns do exist in this map.
Yeah, it just felt like a long time. I think both you and Chroma actually explored kind of to the north and then to the east on that long dead-end peninsula, and then to the southeast on that dead-end peninsula. It was quite a while before, even from the bird's eye view, we saw anything. Really any location at all.
Yeah, and even with having 3 cursed belts after Mountain, and knowing I had I think 3 or 4 I had the 3 quest items and an armor. I'm like, you have to die at grave in this point. And then luckily, what, harp or something was down there. But yeah, it just unfortunately just wrong ordered the map. And sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that definitely came into it a little bit. Neither of you counted coordinates, but it turns out that Chroma just managed to, I think coordinates would have taken him to the direction of Trading Cave, but he managed to go the other direction first and just clear out everything on that east coast before having to even consider that. So the exploration also definitely was a little bit wrong ordered in terms of your case, but I mean, there's nothing really you can do about that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, if Cole came earlier, obviously it would be a little bit different, but yeah, I got coordinates just to find out if they were close, just as an in case, because I figured we would get to Death Necklace HP before getting to Ghost Strength, and yeah, so fortunately they were pretty far away, possibly second continent, but yeah, just missing Cole on my way up from Breckenary to Grave to Swamp just unfortunately hurt.
So, unfortunately, this means you're gonna finish your regular season at 2-4, and can't get into the playoffs now. But hopefully, still had a pretty good time in the tournament.
Yeah, it's for as much as we all complain about DWR, we still like playing it, and it's always a lot of fun. Felt good at first to get that top seed in the group, and then seeing what group I was put with was very very like, oh darn, this is not going to be great in any shape or form. And either way, it was all good close races. I think actually Chroma may have beat me by the biggest margin here. I think each one I was in Charlock when the other finished. So either way, it's always a lot of fun, and we hatefully love this game.
I have regularly described it to Archfield and will continue to describe it as being a crocodile wrangler. You just really can't be upset when the crocodile bites back.
Yeah.
When you make that one of your things.
Yeah, if you decide you're going to wrestle a crocodile and you say, oh no, the crocodile bit me. I didn't see that coming. No, you saw it coming. It's a crocodile.
Exactly. And, just never, just never sit there and, take anything for granted, even with, a quote unquote free and easy seed. Something will always come back to bite you at the end.
I will note, speaking of that, one last thing I assume before we get ready to wrap up. I don't know what we're doing raid-wise, but speaking of a free and easy seed, this seed is about the craziest jet I've ever seen. Level 19, but both racers finished under an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It was, I mean, even with the, enemy unluck, you still have a pretty easy seed overall. And then when you have, an almost, god grind in that red dragon that stops spells half the time, it makes the end game go so quick. So yeah.
Well, Artorius, thank you for joining us here in the booth. Roma, thank you for joining us in chat. It's good to talk to you both, and thanks for putting on a great race and just a fascinating seed overall. We have still more Dragon Warrior Randomizer coming up today. Right now, there is actually one race underway. Synth is playing Queen I do not know. I'm not unsure whether that has a broadcast. If it does, I have not been able to track it down yet. The Red Slime Zone, anyway. That said, there are 4 other races tonight. Juef playing Zarnax. That'll be Zarnax's second race of the day, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. Edge versus Sassage, also in this group. And
also with big implications toward the 3rd seed.
Indeed. That one's just half an hour later at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Then Kigalus versus Miplet at 9:30 Eastern. And then at 10 Eastern, Chroma playing his second race of the day, taking on Smashy. Smashy's looking for his 5th win, I believe, has already locked up a playoff spot. But Chroma, of course, still has everything to play for in that one, trying to stay alive, win his remaining 2 races, and try to get into the playoffs. So stay tuned tonight. Keep an eye on DWR Discord. If you have not done so already, you can hop over there and see what's going on. You can also check out all of the summer results and standings and everything else in that link. You'll see some spoilers there if you go into the match history, so just a heads up on that. Also, please do follow both of our racers, both very talented racers, and you can follow our Restream crew, 1 extremely talented tracker in Shahali, and then 2 bozos.
Don't follow us.
Please don't. And I don't do anything anyway, so don't. It's pointless. That said, thank you for joining us today. Glad you were able to catch this race. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it later in the VOD, thank you for the company. Thank you for watching. I'm going to raid over to... let's see.
Hold on, he's flashing back to that first count.
Type,
He's trying to remember what Chroma's damage was.
I don't
He'll get it eventually.
I didn't know then, and I don't know now. We're going to raid EMP any amount of money, who is in the midst of whatever Wednesday. He's actually playing La Mulana randomizer, but EMP is also a member of this particular group of death, same racers that you saw in our race today. And he's playing some La Mulana randomizer. So we're going to go visit EMP, say hello to him. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you next time.